Hi everyone, Danny's team is back from riding the waves and we are riding a wave of G7s. This is Tuesday, October 12th, 2021, and this is the Smart Doll News.
We're back.
We are back. Danny's team is back, so we actually have some news this week.
Yep. I'm John, by the way.
I'm Sandy. This is my lady disdain.
Just mixing things up. So, we got a week off. So where did you go on your vacation?
Here?
Yeah. Not snorkeling?
No, did not go snorkeling, did not go diving, didn't hang out on boats eating fresh fish. But, you know, that sounds nice, doesn't it, though? Hanging out on a boat?
I mean, as long as you cook the fish first.
Yeah, no. Yanking them out and, you know.
Pulling a golem. Just...
What is his little song that he sings?
Something fish so sweet. Whatever. I don't so we have mostly just a bunch of new, like some new releases and some new dolls, right?
Yeah. And, you know, so a couple other little interesting things that happened, but we'll just get to it.
All right. Let's dig in then.
So for releases, Dauntless came out in T, and she's already back somewhat soonish.
Yeah, that went relatively quickly.
I think she's lovely. I think she is not... I think the G7 Dauntless is a lot less fierce.
Yeah, well, G7 in general is a very soft face.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it adds, adding that nose adds a little bit of cute that the G1, G2, etc. didn't have.
Yeah, I would like to, I mean, I've said this a couple of times. I mean, Danny is going full hog on G7. Mm-hmm. He loves the sculpt, and it is a fantastic sculpt. I just wish there was some more variety, and I know this is like asking way more than he would ever do, because more variety in the semi-real means that many more sculpts that they have to deal with, and it just like massively complicates production. But it would be really nice if there was a new, more mature, you know, looking doll.
Yeah, like something that keeps the original. I mean, like I said, I think she's beautiful, but it would be neat to have a doll that kept that fierceness that the original Dauntless had, but has a different nose, etc. Like there's some way to do that.
Yeah, Magical Girl Kid Cat says she thinks this is Ben, her husband, his new favorite T-girl.
Oh, really? That's not surprising. I mean, she is quite lovely. I like the blonde wig on her.
Yep.
It's just that when you start to do this, she starts to really lean Barbie.
And that was the reason why I actually didn't like some of the semi-reels to begin with. But once you start really getting used to them, mm-hmm. it doesn't feel like Barbie to me anymore.
Yeah. So there's that. She was pretty popular, obviously. She's already back to having to be restocked. So
we also have Liberty is back up. Liberty was a Coco anime girl with vitiligo. Mm-hmm. But they've also now added a semi-real, which I think he's been planning for a while, right?
Yeah, because semi-real Valiant came out and everything. So we have semi-real Liberty. But the thing is she was G4, and now she's coming out as G7.
So, like, and maybe someone in the chat can correct me on this, but am I right in saying that he literally basically just now finally released the G4 and then announced, we're going to make this G7 and we're getting rid of the G4, so get it while it's there?
Yeah, I mean, we could be wrong about that because Liberty has never been one of our focus dolls, but yeah, it's like, so the G7 is, it's time.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not surprising. Danny, like I said, Danny loves G7 and is pretty much switching everybody slowly but surely over. And this is kind of just like a culmination, a wave of a bunch of some releases, but also some announcements.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Liberty is one of his favorites. He likes his Valiant and his Liberty that have a difference, and he champions that.
Danielle asks, is Courage G7? And we're going to check real quick.
I don't think so.
Well, we have... Well, no, because this Courage, at least, is not semi-real.
Yeah, she's...
So we'd have to see... if there's pictures of Courage, updated Courage in like his stories or something, I don't know where exactly it would be, but
well, I mean, isn't she pretty much the same as Valiant? But
well, that's true.
In terms of having, I mean, I think because now he has anime Valiant. Oh, Courage is T.
So, Kat says he previewed her a few months ago in semi-real. So there's...
Oh, okay. Okay. Missed that one.
Danielle says she's in the new May 2021. We're not going to go digging for it right this second, but feel free to take a look through the news. If we have some time, we might be able to poke in there after we get to the news.
Yeah. So dolls like Valiant and Liberty are part of the ones that Danny has said are not going to go away. Somebody had asked me once if we would talk about the core dolls, the frontline dolls.
Yeah.
And say what makes it a frontline doll and stuff like that. And I mean, it's in general, it's going to be Mirai, Kizuna.
Yeah, there's like the millennial girls.
Yeah, Melody.
But I mean, in the end, I mean, we don't have a real list of frontline girls.
No, he just talks about them being frontline girls, and you just kind of get to know which ones are his ones that aren't going away.
Right. I mean, i.e., the ones that haven't gone away and have stuck around for a while. And it really comes down to general, like, public popularity and how much Danny likes them.
Yeah, and Liberty and Valiant mean a lot to Danny.
Yeah.
So he's always said that he will have that representation.
Yeah. The vitiligo, birthmarks, like, Monday is kind of in that category. I don't know what exactly the numbers are, but I know it was Monday is a very polarizing sculpt, but a sculpt that Danny really, really liked.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that if Danny likes it enough, he's going to keep it around.
He wanted to do a sculpt that had a feeling like a traditional porcelain doll.
Yeah, and Fortitude is, you can see it pretty much in almost all of his posts. 40 is his like absolute favorite, and I was when I was purchasing Fortitude for my sister, who quick update if you were here the last time we were on. Heart, my sister had open heart surgery. She actually ended up going back in the hospital. She is going, I think, supposedly going home today. So, crossing our fingers there. And, I was a little bit concerned, but looking at it, Fortitude is, like, never gonna sell out. The only danger I had was the fact that he was going on vacation.
Right. Yeah, so, and he's basically said 40's not going anywhere. There's plenty of stock of her, and at least in T anyway. There's plenty of stock of her, and she's not leaving.
Yeah.
So that was it, really. I think for new releases.
Yeah, I mean we usually like to check out. We haven't been covering too much in terms of Chaos Outlet. I do know there was another. What's the word I'm looking for? Utter Chaos bundle that dropped.
Yeah. Some neat things in it.
We didn't particularly buy it, but this stuff comes and goes so quickly that you really just need to be up on tracking the Chaos outlet. And yeah, discontinued is not really, or there's no discontinued here or decommissions.
Nope, we're done there. So, moving on to some other, like, random things that have been going on.
Well, this is actual news, right? The things that make it to his, like, Instagram posts.
Right. Other possible announcements. We have Genesis with Freckles.
Yes, or Genesis Sobakasu.
Yes.
I love her. She's
very cute. The Freckles
amazing.
The Freckles just do something for her that is just, I don't know. It's sweet. It's very sweet. I would almost consider getting her in that's tea, right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah. If she was cinnamon with freckles like that, I might consider getting her because we already have a tea gen. So.
She's got a lot more blush as well to kind of, sitting behind the freckles. At least it seems to me, especially on the bridge of her nose here. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's really interesting because Genesis she's not as fierce as Dauntless, but she's pretty much the second most fierce doll in the lineup.
Yeah, because original Genesis, the G2 sculpt, like, was really fierce. Like, she has a little bit of RBF going on. And that was actually, she was one of the first dolls I was drawn to because I was like, I am cursed with RBF, and so I kind of was drawn to Genesis at first. But yeah, there's those Genesis and Dauntless are the two fierce ones, the two more grown up looking.
And G07, as we said earlier with Dauntless, has really softened that. This softens it even more, and she really gets more of a doe-eyed look with those really thick black eyes.
This is like teenage Genesis. More than...
Right, before she starts putting on makeup to cover up her freckles, sadly.
Yeah, which is very sad.
Yeah. Love the freckles. They look fantastic. I would love to see more broad sort of skin makeup or face-ups. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, most of the dolls are just eyes. Maybe a little blush color to the cheeks or something. Seeing him play with freckles more, and of course things like the vitiligo, I would love to see more interesting variations of like skin types.
What I like about her is that he said they did this doll for just for this trip to celebrate the year that they've had. He just decided to do something different and said, hey, if you guys tell me that you like her, we might actually make her.
And that's one of the reasons why you really want to keep up to date with everything that Danny's doing, because he does give you a voice. He really asks questions of his customer base and listens to them.
Yeah, recently we've noticed that he's been a lot more vocal too, and that may be just because he's been excited over the way this past year has gone, and he's fresh and back from a vacation,
Magical Girl Kit Kat was asking about, maybe more dramatic makeup options, markings, star tattoo. Mm-hmm. I think that's a fantastic idea, Kat, and I just like the idea of tattoos in general.
Yeah, I would love the idea of removable tattoos.
I would love cool. Original Genesis with a dragon going up her neck or something.
Yeah.
He does custom chests.
I've already said I want Cammy. I want tribal elven tattoos for Cammy.
Yes.
That go around a face tattoo kind of thing.
Yeah, that may or may not be coming in the near future, at least for us.
Right.
So she looks great, and I don't know that because we already have her that we would necessarily run out and buy her, but I'm just happy to see more of this and really hope that anybody who likes this speaks up. So we also had some neat things happening, discussing basically that Danny is listening, and he's featured Dallas Dollco wigs, and we've already talked about Dallas Dollco. They're very good wigs. But what was interesting was that
we found out that he actually went searching for third-party options because his customers keep asking him.
Yeah, a while back, at some point this year, he stopped selling individual wigs outside of the ones that come with the dolls. And, you know, it was just getting to be too much. And it's really cool that he has taken the time to try and figure out, well, if I'm not going to do this, who is doing this out there at a quality that I would be happy with? And then I can at least tell them that. So I think this is the closest thing you can get to some sort of an endorsement. But I would love to see him do that more. And you know, to sort of really encourage people to try out dolls. And of course, listen also to your, you know, channels, you know, like, of course, you have us, but, you know, I know Magical Girl Kit Kat is in the chat now, and I call her out specifically because of this, because, you know, she is always looking at smaller, you know, the small businesses, trying, you know, trying things out and highlighting them on her channel. So, you know, use YouTube, you know, look for pictures and wigs and that you see in Instagram and find out who they are. Because there's a lot of great options out there, even beyond just what Danny has found.
Just explore Etsy and then ask questions. Like if you're in any Facebook groups that are focused on Smart Doll with collectors who have been collecting for a while, they'll be able to tell you, oh yeah, that shop is really good.
Yep.
You know, or I've never had a problem with that shop, whatever. So that's one of the great things about the community. But, I mean, Danny has said there's certain things that he has had to drop off because they're just not, either he's just not interested in them, or the amount of time and resources it takes is not worth it for him in order, yes, Peng? In order for us to be able to bring it at a, you know, in order for him to be able to bring it to us at a reasonable price. So, you know, it's cool that he's looking for options for us instead of, you know, just going, yeah, whatever, you can't get that.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, I mean, you know, shout out to Dallas Doll Co. That's really cool for her as a small business. And, yeah, it's neat.
Yeah.
So while we're at it with supporting small business, if you like this video, if you like us bringing you the news, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help us with, you know, with the YouTube algorithm and getting us in front of other people. The more interaction you have with us, the more comments you leave on any of our videos,
Yep.
And everything that will actually, you know, help us drive forward. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which is super exciting. We're so grateful. We've gotten a bunch of new people over the past few days.
And I gotta say, the biggest thing that I was really, really excited for about hitting 1,000, quite honestly, is not monetization, because it's not going to be much.
No.
But I was really excited about the community tab and getting that opened up. And as of, I don't know, announced like last week or the week before, supposedly as of today, they have reduced the requirement for the community tab from 1,000 subs to 500 subs, which means we already meet the threshold. And as soon as they enable it on our channel, which I haven't checked in a little while, but it hasn't been there all day. As soon as that's there, that is another place where we're going to start checking in with you on a day-to-day basis, and, you know, give us the opportunity to put some polls out there, and, you know, give you some, you know, allow you to have input on the content that we're creating, and maybe even get to see some pictures that I'm taking, some sneak peeks of what's coming up, and just really round out a way to stay in touch with our community, even outside of just these videos.
And during the week, like, you know, like, because we post a couple times a week. We have our live like we do tonight, and then we have our Saturday video. But sometimes things come up that we just want to chat about during the week, or ask you guys a question so that we can put it in the next video.
Yep.
So it's really helpful for us. You know, pay attention to the community tab, sub if you haven't subbed yet. All of those things really, really help.
Yeah, but in the end, the simplest, easiest thing you do is just hit the thumbs up.
That's it.
Cool. Shall we get back to the game?
Yes, let's play the game.
All right, what are we doing?
We are talking about a little bit of speculation, because we love to do that. There was some stuff in the stories that we wanted to take a look at.
Yeah, did we want to touch on the vacation and everything?
Yeah, why not?
So we'll just flip through some of these. I love this shot. I love that. I love that Danny's on vacation and is putting like the insulin pump and stuff on Genesis here.
Yeah, I mean, she's actually like out and about. It's such good representation. I mean, she's out and about, like doing things and being active and positive and enjoying life, even though she's got her pump on, which is like, that's so cool.
I love this picture because it does remind you. Well, there's probably a better picture because not everyone I'm sure is in this, but it just reminds you how small a team is. Like, this is not a very big business, and for anyone who gets frustrated with your doll isn't coming out fast enough, things like that, just remember, this is who's making your dolls.
Yeah,
by hand, mostly.
Real people.
That looks like so much fun. Nice.
Yeah, the water looks gorgeous.
I would love to go to Okinawa. He did post a second one with some extra pictures, one of which I just love. This, I mean, he got a shot of the Milky Way. Now, apparently, this was mostly enabled by the fact that they had a tsunami, I believe, a few days before, and after tsunami. Yeah, clear skies.
No clouds, everything's pushed away.
And so he was able to do this. And I don't know if this specific picture is, but he posted a similar picture, and this is using his iPhone 13
the new
Pro.
iPhone, yeah.
It's just ridiculous. I'm sure he has a tripod and stuff, but it's I've always wanted to get into more astrophotography, but it's not something that it's like I have to travel for it. I live near cities and too much light pollution. Mm-hmm. We were even down at your mother's house in South Carolina, and I brought, I knew we were going to be more out there, and I brought some photography equipment, and I'm pretty sure I got everything set up, and it was a beautiful, beautiful night, and you could see so many stars, and my battery was dead. So it's like, no matter what, it never works out.
But yeah, so that's gorgeous, and I love that he shared how he actually took the photo, which was really neat. So they're real people with other interests, and they're out there having fun, and
love this picture.
I don't think I saw that picture.
It's so good.
But, I mean, it looks like, it's like, this is the things that he does. His dolls, you may have to pay a little bit more money for his dolls, but this is the things he does for his team. So, I mean, that's great.
Yeah. Ben notes that he is also dying to do some astrophotography. And I think Ben, at some point, Sandy and I need to, I don't know where's the better area to go, but we should just meet up in some deserted area. And take lots of amazing photographs and have just a fantastic week.
Like somewhere in the Midwest.
Yeah, just empty plains. That's their vacation, and glad to have them back, but they definitely seem recharged. I think Danny, I did note this, I think it was a post today, that Danny was really engaging in his Instagram posts today. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times it feels like he just does a lot of just liking comments.
Heart,
yeah.
The occasional lol. But he was actually interacting and answering questions, and that's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so stories. Is this the start of it? Yeah, I think so.
That's Future in Tea, and she is lovely. it makes it very hard for me to decide which future I want. But,
Love the freckles. You know you're getting... Unless he, like, change... I think if the wig changes on Cinnamon Future, then maybe that might change things, because it changed maybe how she looks to you, but... I think if it's the same as what he's been teasing...
I want Cinnamon Future.
We commented this on a video we shot, Saturday's video, and we actually put our Roxy, our Genesis, in an outfit, and we're just like, she looks good barefoot. It works.
Yep, barefoot's fine. I like the tripwire around her ankle.
Yep.
That looks really cute. The goggles on the hat look awesome.
Cannot wait for those to come out, if they ever do.
Yep. I don't know if he got enough positive response on those or not, because he said they weren't particularly perfect. There was something that didn't quite work right.
Yeah, the functionality of it, because like the leather piece is not attached to the goggles themselves. Like they're just sort of like sandwiched between and through the straps. So it is a little odd.
To be honest, if he sold the hat with goggles attached that didn't even come down, I think people would buy it anyway.
Probably.
Instead of, because you probably wouldn't end up putting them on their face anyhow. You'd have them on a hat or something. So,
yeah.
I mean, if he just sold that like that and just tacked on, some yen to compensate for it.
This one is, I think he's made glasses like this before. I believe. I can't remember what they say.
Well, he's got the deal with it glasses, but those are the ones that look like they're pixelated.
No, he's had this sort of, here's kanji as...
He has? Okay.
Glasses. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I'm wrong. But these looked familiar to me, and I didn't really think much of them. But he said, interesting glasses you have there. These actually just read order. And I was trying to figure out, because I was doing like Google image translate on the picture on a screen, getting the angle right was weird, but and I was like, am I actually translating this correctly? And then I realized, oh right, chaos, order. So
I wonder if there'll be chaos glasses too.
That'd be kind of cool. I have a feeling though
But isn't it weird, like if those don't come out right and he has to put them in chaos, so now they're chaos order glasses. Right?
Right. And then, of course, if he actually makes chaos glasses, then he'd have chaos glasses.
Right.
Or is it chaos order glasses, parentheses, chaos? We're dumb.
Yeah.
40-chan.
We just discussed her. I love that cropped apricot wig.
Yeah.
That is so cute. Like, it would tempt me to get one and just chop it short to have an extra one that's shorter.
And I just love what he's doing here with the different variations of tea. Very cool.
I like Monday much better now. Like, with the little changes he made.
They're subtle. I'm still dying to know who Future was actually supposed to represent.
I know. I was like, there was a thought that she might be Multiverse Monday.
Yeah.
And I'm still holding on to that, but maybe enough people didn't think that he just said, I like her, so I'll just give her her own name.
Well, here's my guess. Assuming that it is Monday, he puts her out, everyone goes nuts for her, which they did, and but everyone also goes crazy over the idea of him getting rid of Monday. So then he ends up going, all right, let's reverse course. Let's get a tweak Monday, keep her closer to what she has or what she was. And, Future Aoi at the time becomes Future, becomes her own person.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my thought, was that maybe it was just because he does listen, he does pay attention to what people say, and he was like, he actually said in that post, if you guys see it, she might be somebody's multiverse.
Yeah, I think it was it's sort of inspired by, or this is how the idea started, but it kind of went off on a...
And evidently not enough people saw what multiverse she was. So she just became future.
Well, I don't know if like that it wasn't a test.
That is my theory. Because he actually said that. He said those words.
Yeah, but that doesn't like there's no like consequence attached to whether or not people like guessed it.
I know, but I'm just saying, so I'm surmising what happened. Come on, does anybody agree with me that that's conceivable?
Well, I'm gonna I'm gonna put words in Magical Girl Kit Kat Gaming's mouth by completely taking her comment out of context and saying she thinks you're right. All right, so we also have G07 Valiant.
I love G7 Valiant. I'm a fan. I think I think out of all the Valiants so far, she's my favorite.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, like, how many Valiants?
Well, she was G4.
Yep.
And she was anime.
Right.
And now she's G7. And I like the softness and the vulnerability of the G7 sculpt. You know, I just think she's very endearing to me with her markings and the fact that she looks so vulnerable and soft.
Yeah. And can we give a shout out to Michaela Frost?
Because He-Man is in, like, every single shot.
All right. Okay, what's this?
Yeah,
A frame of some sort.
yeah. That looks like... The bottom one is like a leg.
This looks like a thigh or something going up into, like, the hip.
And is that a foot over on the left?
This?
Yeah, what's that?
I don't know.
Like, are we getting, this have to do with cyber? Is this a robotic leg?
Oh, imagine he's, like, building a Terminator.
Yeah, does anybody recognize enough about these parts that they could say what it is?
Like, I feel like this is a hip. Like, they have that ball joint there, that big, you know, like, it actually reminds me of the top of a hip. But yeah, the other pieces, this is interesting. This is some sort of, like, pressure thing. Like, something would slide in here, and this would kind of lock in, or this would slide into something. Do you see what I mean there about it has this, like, ridge here? And are you looking?
Yeah, I was looking over at the comments for a second to see if anybody said anything. But yeah, no, I see what you mean. Like, that looks like something would suck it into it. So
Stephanie Carbno says you know, is this maybe it's a cyber leg or something?
yeah, that's what I was thinking, that might be what it is, like a step up from the prosthetic leg, like doing something completely different.
Kat says, well, Ben, you guys are both in the chat, aren't you? Kat says Ben's thought is it's the pocket doll frames.
It could be.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this, like, I'm pretty sure. Well, that's an interesting thought here. Let's take a look at scale. I'm actually, if that is a thigh, and this is some sort of board, let's say, I mean, if that almost looks like it could be a 2x4 or maybe 6, like one of these boards could be like 6 inches wide kind of thing. But even then, that would be probably normal size. It's really hard to tell.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, if that's the distance between the veins, it's like there's some spots where it's like half an inch, but there's like most of it looks like it's about a quarter of an inch.
Well, yeah, but without any scale, we have no idea really.
Right.
But yeah, that's interesting. I really want to know what this is.
Just is something screwing in normal? Because those are very obviously threads, like a bolt.
They could be threads, but I don't think so. They are not. Well, It's hard to say. Like, it looks like they're just ridges. Like, it's
Maybe.
little ridges.
I don't know. It looks like a bolt to me. Like it's actually shaped like a bolt.
And Stephanie, you are welcome for my accidental correct pronunciation of your last name. Cool.
Okay. So
I can't wait to see what comes of that. So keep your eye out in his stories for anything that looks like this. Yeah, and no, that doesn't want to go in. This goes in there? Oh, God, I don't know. Anyway. And, of course, we have
Liberty in the Long Wig,
yeah.
which he asked for, whether you wanted the long or the short.
Yep.
I like the long, personally. I'm a huge fan of the long. I love that wig anyway. But I like that one on her.
Aster T, we don't care when you show up. We're happy to have you.
Yes. Very happy. And then she's wearing the hakama, and that actually showed up in Chaos.
I know. Really, really mad that we didn't do Chaos.
We don't skip many Chaos
No,
orders.
well,
and
we've been doing it like every other.
yeah. But
I want that Hakama. Just look at that sort of crepey fabric that he's using there. It's so nice.
Yep. And yeah, it's just beautifully detailed. I love the piping on the collar, and yeah, it's lovely. Would definitely like to have that.
Yep. Ta-da. Okay, wait a minute. Who's this now?
My thought is that is the new version of Tomorrow, which is basically Monday Coco.
But it doesn't match. Like the eyes that don't match. I mean, it's a complete change. I mean, this huge, thick. I actually really like it, but this really thick, eyelash. I don't.
Anybody else have any other ideas? But that's who I thought it was. I mean, first thought, I'm looking at the nose and the mouth and everything, and that's who I thought it was.
Yeah. Kat in the chat says that she thought it was a new and was shook that she isn't. So then, yeah, what are we missing? Who is this? I part of me wants to. All right, so there seems to be a agreement that it is tomorrow.
Because Monday just had a revamp, so it should be, consequently, unless he wasn't going to remake Tomorrow at all.
Well, okay, and tomorrow. So this doesn't really do much for tomorrow's like makeup. It's not all that close to the makeup, but it is the Monday sculpt, and tomorrow is different than Monday. Like tomorrow is very different than Monday. It's not like a translation of Monday into Coco. And so maybe they just did what they wanted with it.
I actually really like this doll. I like that she looks different, than the other, the G07 dolls.
All right, so we did this earlier. We're going to do it again, on screen.
The eyebrows work?
The eyebrows do work, although I never realized that these eyebrows are actually outlined. Like who was it? Tomorrow? Not tomorrow. What was the new girl?
Onward.
Onward, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, I can buy that the new girl is tomorrow. Because the overall shape, although it's a little bit different, but that sort of solid
The solid line is there. The little bit of eyeshadow, like the lighter pinkish, grayish, whatever.
She
that
loses an
is.
eyelash in the new one, but this is very like there's very little detail here otherwise. So I can definitely see this just being an adaptation and taking a number of liberties with her design.
I would actually consider purchasing the new Tomorrow, if that's what that is.
Oh.
I think she's lovely.
And the other suggestion was Beyond.
Yep, we looked at Beyond. We'll look at her again.
It's just, it's tough, but this has, what I call, the slug. This has too many lashes. It's so many lashes. But it could...
And Beyond has Freckles.
That's true as well. And I would think the Freckles would be more like to stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm leaning towards It's Tomorrow. Well, she really looks like... Future and Coco, a lot.
Yeah, a little bit. So this is G4, is that correct?
I think so.
I don't remember the sculpt code for Monday, but
Monday's G3.
G3.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm not sure why he would bring a new doll or transfer. Why would he transfer a G4 doll into G3 and not into G7?
Right.
I think I think it's got to be Tomorrow. I can't imagine him doing more dolls in the Monday sculpt versus just updating the look of the ones that are already there.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards It's Tomorrow.
Yeah. It's not, but it will be eventually.
Right. Yeah, and I like her a lot. We have one Coco, Aster T, and it's Reflection, and we love her. But, and like I said, I would consider purchasing this doll because she actually looks significantly different from Reflection.
Yeah, because of that really strong eyeliner. And those eyebrows. Yeah. Well, and she's a different sculpt. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm actually quite shocked at how good the G3 sculpt looks.
The new one, yeah.
In this. Monday, I'm still not a fan of. And I wasn't all that much of a fan of Tomorrow, but
she's really pretty.
Yeah.
I like her slightly wider set looking eyes, and
she's kind of got a Disney Moana thing going on right now.
Yeah, she does look rather Disney, actually. Very open, wide eyes, high eyebrows.
Yep. Oh.
Yeah. We're getting a G7 nostalgia.
And this G7 strikes a way more badass look than Dauntless does.
I was never a huge nostalgia fan. I like this nostalgia.
Maybe it's the angle. I need to see other angles of nostalgia, but
yeah.
It's I probably would be interested in getting her. I can't see getting Dauntless because I have because Vignette. I haven't quite figured out do I want Vignette to have a sister? Because that's basically what she would be.
Yeah. And we don't even need to talk about this white solar marine uniform.
I want them all. I need at least 2 of each.
That is so cool.
I want I've said it before. I want a squad. I want a solar marine squad.
Yeah.
So good.
Love it.
But this just looks really good. I mean, the pants. Oh my god. The white and black is so striking.
I want more of that jacket just I want one in wine color without any kind of emblems on it.
Yeah.
I want like a brown one and a black one. You know, like just the jackets are so cool.
Yep. All right, so this jacket, this Solar Marine, like, I don't know, parka, or I forget if he called it. He actually did a
pole, basically.
Yeah, he had it in, like, gray, and he had it in this red.
And he said, which one do you like? And then, like, the next day, or maybe 2 days later, the red one he put up a picture of. So that probably means that that's the one that's coming, but we don't know that for sure.
Oh, I know. I mean, yeah, you do, because you can see you could see the poll results.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can see the poll results.
So yeah, it looks like, and look, she's still wearing the Dallas Dalco wig.
Yep. Yeah, this is the weird one with where the hood's got the place for the hair to go. I still. The physics, it just seems weird to me.
I just ordered that wig. I wanted to try it. I'm not generally huge on the ones that are predominantly like rainbow kind of colors, but that one has some blonde and stuff in it, so I thought it looked pretty cool. So
yeah, we'll see how it works.
Yep.
Who did you have in mind for that wig?
Oh, any of them can wear it, but probably Cammy.
Okay.
But Cammy wears all my wigs. Like,
Yeah.
Every wig I pick looks good on Cammy. It's kind of infuriating. I buy it for a different doll, and it's like, oh, it looks better on Moment. Moment can wear, just for the record, if you don't have Moment and you're thinking about her, she can wear any wig.
And
like,
and turn it like it was like make it like the wig was what made her so sexy.
Yeah.
Like as if that was the one piece. But she makes everything look amazing.
Yeah.
Kelly Poplar says that he needs to put the Solar Marines on the site to buy. I wonder what's keeping him. What are the? I always want to know something is. If it was ready to go, he would do it. But
he might have something else planned that he wants to launch as a tie-in with it. He might want to have the whole collection done before he puts it all out. I mean, there's could be a lot of things. I mean, and it is obviously, if you look at those uniforms and stuff, those are high production time. So
yeah. Aster T just called me out. Do I want to try a long hair wig on myself and see if it's easier with a jacket and with a ponytail cap?
It is easier. I personally have long hair, but I don't have very thick hair, so I mean, I don't have a problem with hoods.
I mean, all right, maybe a ponytail is a bit of an issue, but like I have to assume you just put it on top of your hair, and you're done. Like, and then maybe you pull some hair forward. I just don't understand what the problem is. But anyway.
Anyway, his hair is getting long enough to have to put it in a ponytail.
Don't get me started on, like, I didn't have a pandemic hair for a good chunk of time. Yeah. And it's just, now I've got the beard. It's all got to go.
It's turning into Grizzly Adams.
God. Oh, so Aster says she has butt length hair. So
okay.
But I think you've breached a threshold where it's not about the hoodie anymore. Yeah, I am not a huge fan of the red myself. I was hoping for the gray.
I voted for the red. I like the red. I think that there's enough tan and khaki and
but he does
gray
red on everything too. Like the wine red is like the go. It's like gray or wine red. It's pretty much everything anyway.
I want to see that in like teal.
I just want it to be like what I imagine functionally that jacket should look like. If like it were designed for whatever environment it's designed for, that sort of thing.
Heck, how about white or black to go with the glacier uniform that we were just looking at?
Yeah. Well, they have the orange. No one's wearing it anymore, but which is kind of weird. But yeah, I would love a white version of that parka with the Space Marine or the Solar Marine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that is the end of the stories for 2 weeks. Bit of a catch-up, but somehow we are at a shorter amount of time than our normal episodes.
Oh yeah, you know what else we didn't mention during our self-promotion?
What?
Danny actually received our t-shirts.
Oh, yeah. So we sent Danny basically 3 samples. You know, like you can... we can get a reasonably cheap price to buy samples, like a certain amount a month. And I was like, well, Danny was gracious enough to let us, with his artwork and everything, to allow us to essentially, sell his own copyrighted material, his own IP. So I just, wanted to send him some stuff, and I figured, I know that he was a big Star Wars fan, so I figured I'd, include the. No, I'm not wearing that shirt. The
Lack of Dolls t-shirt, yeah, with vignette on it. And he put them in his stories. We're not yet able to do international shipping, like, as a whole. So we actually purchased shirts and sent them to Danny. Because I know people were wondering about that, but he was very appreciative and as far as we know, enjoys the shirts. So... I just wanted to mention that, and if you want to get your own shirts, you can go to myladydisdain.com and get them.
As long as you're in the U.S. currently.
As long as you're in the U.S.
Yeah. We are, I swear we're working on it. It is just a nightmare of getting filed, and if we don't get all the stuff filed, we're going to be forced to pay taxes to our provider, and can't really properly charge you taxes for it. So it's a whole weird, annoying setup.
Yeah, and we would, in order to compensate for that, we would have to jack up the price on international orders, and we really don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, right, yeah. We would have to put the charge somewhere, but it wouldn't be properly done, and I couldn't do it, like, correctly. Like, I couldn't do 20% for VAT. I would do, like, here's 20% of the average order size, and I'll suck up the difference.
Yeah,
somehow.
So anyways, it's coming, but for now, if you're in the U.S. and you want to get a shirt, you can go to myladydisdain.com.
Aster T says, I'm Australian. I just always assume I can't buy anything. They look great, though. Aster... Australia is one of the ones that's holding us up, because you do have the GST, Australia and Canada. But once we can get that properly filed, I don't believe we actually have to charge taxes. Once we can prove that we're filed or ready to file it, if we did. It's so weird. But once we get that set up, it will not be an issue.
So anyways, that's all from us. We really do thank you for spending some time with us tonight. And if you're watching us in the replay later, we do this every Tuesday night at 7, unless Danny is surfing.
Just if he happens to be surfing
or mountain climbing.
We have the Danny cam that we check before we go live each time, and if he's surfing, we can't go live.
or mountain climbing or diving or I don't know what. But as long as there's news, we're here on Tuesday nights.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Sandy.
I'm John.
Take care.
Bye everybody.
Bye.